everyone, today we are going to be working on this page from World of Flowers by Johanna Basford. Now I expect after I started this page and did these two little ones you probably thought I'd forgotten all about it. Yep, I had, but anyway, sorry. Let's get going with a few. Well, I'm going to record a few. I'm only going to put out one at a time, but we're going to do this one here. I'm just trying to get in a little bit closer, but we want to be able to see the whole thing in shot. We've got that little bit of string coming down, or wool. I assume it's sort of garden twine. So I'm using my Castle Art Soft Touch as I have done with the other page and the beginning of this one. We're just going to use the same pencils throughout. I think it's sort of makes sense really. And then let's do the little background for the back of here first. I'm just going to grab a pencil. I'm going to use the Davy's Grey for the background. I think it'd be a bit different, and just get going. Now our backgrounds are just an even amount of colour, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to try and apply it as evenly as I can. It's not always that easy, just doing the best I can really. Now of course I've seen some absolutely amazing backgrounds for this page where people have done every one the same colour, which actually looks better I think than lots of random colours, but yeah. And I've also seen some where people have drawn in planks of wood and things like that, or where they go a little bit darker in the corners than the centre, and all of those I think look really good. So if you would rather have a look at those and do that, then I wouldn't blame you at all. But I'm just doing a really sort of simple one because I think sometimes there's nothing wrong with doing it a little bit simple. And with so much detailing going on the page, if we put too much into the background, it can sort of distract from the picture itself. That is always a battle that I have with backgrounds, is that you don't want it to overtake the whole picture unless you black out the picture and make it sort of silhouetted against the background, which I have done before, actually for a version of this page in a planner. You want the foreground is what's supposed to be standing out, so the background just needs to set the scene, to sit back, to frame the foreground really. And as I say, sometimes there's a bit of a battle. I've had a few recently where I tried to do something a bit fancy. I'm trying to work out what's going on with that pot. Try and do something a bit fancy and it didn't really work. So it's lots of practice, looking at other people's, working out what you think looks good and works. It's quite faint, that background, but I'm going to leave it like that. And you know, it just takes time really in practice. Right, the twine is the first thing I'm thinking about. Now we could do it in a bright colour. I'm thinking about garden twine that I've seen and used in the past. I've used a sort of teal green colour, browns like string, things like that. We don't have that sort of colour, or we could just do it any colour. I'm thinking green. I know we've got a lot of greens going on, but that's the sort of colour that I think it would be. And that's what my brain wants me to do. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to grab the Viridian, which is quite a dark green. That's what I'm thinking I would like to do. Now, recently I've recorded a video from Johanna's new book, Rooms of Wonder, which has lots of cotton reels and balls of wool, or yarn, as you call it in the US. We're starting to call it that here too, because it's not made of wool anymore. And so I show this technique, but I will show you now on this one as well, just in case you haven't got that book. I don't know if that video would have come out. I think it probably would have done. I'm not sure. Because I record so far in advance, I get everything scheduled up ready. It makes me relax more knowing that they're all ready for you, rather than, and so it makes it fun for me. If I was sort of wondering when my next video, if I hadn't done tomorrow's video, I'd be in a bit of a worrying state. And of course that isn't, this is all about having fun for me and for you, I hope. So that's why I record in advance. What I'm trying to do here is to make it darker around the very edge of our ball, because we want it to look spherical. Okay, I realise we've got individual strands of wool going on, and we'll twine, I mean going on, we'll deal with that in a minute. What I want to deal with first is to get the spherical shape like that, and I think that's reasonable. Then I'm going to look at the shading. Now this piece here is much closer to us because it's the final bit that's been wound around. These bits are underneath, so I'm trying to identify which is the bits that's the furthest away, which is, I think, this little section in here, which I think would be a bit darker. So I'm outlining the edge to put some shadow in, just darkening it slightly, yeah. And I think this bit down here maybe as well. So trying to sort of emphasize where that shadow would be under those bits that are wound up, then just darken it all over just a tad, and this bit here, I think. And in there, oh, there's a train going by. This bit in here. My neighbour's just put in some sound insulation in her house, and I wonder if it stops her hearing the trains. Be a shame, I like hearing the trains. They don't, luckily, they don't tend to run at night very often, so don't tend to hear them too much then. There we go. I'm just going to pull that in a little bit there. So there is our ball. You've got some shadows and things like that in there going on, and we'll do this this lovely piece. I'm going to start off a little bit darker here. Yeah, the last train I think is at 11:15. I don't always hear it. Depends if I'm asleep. I tend to go to sleep about. I settle down to sleep about 10 usually. Now I'm awake before 6. I like to be up early. I like to get all the morning chores done early, make sure everyone's ready to go out the door. So I'm making it a little darker on the end here, and just where it crosses things where there'll be a bit of shadow. Really, just keeping it quite simple. I think it's a little bit pale here. I'm going to add a bit more colour on there. And we need to do our little nail tack, whatever it is. I often do these silver. I think we'll do that. The cool grey is very good for silvers. Very impressed with it actually. So that's what I'm going to do. It needs sharpening though. Where's my sharp? There it is. Give it a quick sharpen. Quite a small detail, isn't it? Here we go, so back again, cool grey. Now this thin bit, I'm just going to make it a little darker near the wall. I'm trying to make it a bit dark at the bottom and a little light bit at the top. It's really a bit small to do very much with, but there we go. So now we can move on to our pots. Now I would, if it was me, put all my pots of the same colour together, but in my other pictures I've made them all quite random mainly, so I'm going to do the same thing here. So I'm going to mix it up a bit. I think if we do the flowers first, then we can work out what colours of pots will match. So we start with our cactus. It's going to be quite a dark green, probably would be the Viridian, but we've used that. So let's grab our Pthalo Green and work with that one. I think a bluey green is more a cacti colour. I'm probably wrong, but that's how I feel. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to make it fairly even, the cacti. I like, they're fun, aren't they, cacti? This one's got, it's quite rare for them to flower, although I know sometimes people put dried flowers on their cacti just to make them look pretty. So that's rather nice. We need to find a different green for our next one. I don't know what this plant is with these little round things popping out of the top of it. This is Prussian Green. And what I'm going to do for this one is make it a little darker at the bottom near the pot and lighter at the top. It's I've been doing so many lovely autumn pictures lately. Had such fun with autumn, and but I feel like I'm sort of should be thinking of Christmas now. but I'm sad to leave autumn behind. I love autumn pictures, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Now we have this one. This looks like a lily, doesn't it? I've got one like that in my bathroom. I think the Castle Green might be a good colour for that one. Can you hear my boiler? My heating's on a little bit, I think, still at the minute. It'll go off soon. I sort of have it set to sort of not be on all day long and see how it suits us. But we'll see how everyone feels. My husband was whinging he was cold at the weekend, but actually the heating's on all weekend because he feels the cold. Now the Juniper Green, I feel the cold a little bit, but I just put a jumper on. Again, I'm just going to do it a bit darker nearer the pot. But yeah, I try not, it feels like when I'm here on my own, heating the whole house feels a bit extravagant, but I do it if I'm really cold. Now I want some orange flowers and a terracotta pot for this one. So I don't know if do we have terracotta? We do, yeah. Let's grab the terracotta for our pot first of all. Now I've shown you this so many times before on these pages, but to make my pot look slightly more rounded, I just fade my colour towards the middle like that. But I don't want to leave an actual shine on this one. I'm just going to sharpen that a bit because terracotta isn't shiny. I haven't made it too sharp. There we go. So a bit here and just lighten it towards the middle. You can always add more layers if it's not dark enough for you. There we go. I'm going to add a little bit more at the edge. I still haven't decided what colour to do these lines in between each box. I haven't done it on the other page either yet. So let's do quite a bright orange flower, shall we? Let's go for the Cadmium Orange. Now you could do something fancy with these, but they're so small. I'm just going to block in some orange. I'm not going to do anything fancy. There we go. Now our next one, we have these little tiny circles. Now I'm thinking I quite like to do them in quite a dark colour because I think that that something too pale won't show up. So I'm going to use the Jaipur Pink, which is quite a dark pink. I also picked it because it was quite sharp. Save me sharpening it because I've got to get into that teeny tiny space. There we go, there's a bit of pink, and I'm actually going to use a bit of it here as well. Maybe it's a bit lazy, that I don't have to grab a different pink, but it also ties it in. I'll leave a bit of shine in the middle of that one. Now I'm going to go for a much lighter pink for the rest of the pot. This is the rose pink, but again a little bit more on each end and less as we go towards the middle. So I hope everyone's doing well. It's really rainy here today, but my husband said, I hope you're not going out today, it's raining. Well, it might be. My boys are home this afternoon, so that's nice. Now these lilies, they usually have a very yellow centre, so I'm going to deal with that first with the golden yellow deep, but it's so small, I don't know if you're even going to see it. Might be better to use a yellow Posca pen to get that showing up. Trying to see if we've used pens. We haven't used pens on any of this apart from one. Maybe not. Anyway. Now these lilies are often white. I'm going to colour them in. Sometimes they're a slightly reddish, brownish colour. I'm just going to see if I can find something. I think I'm going to use the Indian red light. A sort of reddish purplish is what I meant to say. I'm going to use it quite dark here and then just less going up there. Like that, and a bit in there. I mean, they are imaginary flowers. Johanna doesn't try and draw realistic. normally, on very rare occasions. So it doesn't matter really. Now the pot, I'm thinking maybe I'll go for the Indian red because it's a similar tone. Yeah, my boy's got a study afternoon this afternoon, but my one son always makes his YouTube lives on a Monday afternoon, so he'll be doing that. He's got 91, well it's a joint channel, but my one boy doesn't do much on it at the minute. They've got 91 subscribers. I'm so proud of them. They do no social media promotion or interaction, so the only way people can find them is actually through YouTube itself, and they're slowly growing. I tell them to go on Instagram and tell people they've got a video out, but they say no, that's cheating. People should just be able to find us. You shouldn't do that. It's not. I was like, I just like I do it because I like people to be able to know that I've got something out. I'm pondering this next colour. I think I'm going to try a flesh colour. It might not work and you might hate it, so wait and see, because I'm not 100% convinced myself if it's going to work. Let's try at the bottom. They're going to follow this sort of dark to light type thing, but yeah, they're doing well. My other son is trying to get world records on speedrunning on a game called Hades, and he has been uploading those, but on his personal channel. Just I'm still not sure. Make up your own mind. Maybe taking the yellow from the centre of the flower might have worked better. Who knows? I'm going to do some purples. The last one, I think. Maybe purples and violets. Let's start with the... what should we start with? Start with the mulberry. Here he is. And I haven't done these sort of tulips. I'm going to do them in a minute. I'm going to do these bits. I'm getting excited about doing purple. So I'm going to fade it towards the top, I think, for this one. It's probably the wrong way round, but it's just sort of what I've decided to do, really. It probably needs a bit of grey in there. I don't know if I put a bit in. I'm just going to grab my Davy's grey. And is that... I'm thinking that should be grey, and it's just the pot goes up to the edge of there. It's a little bit confusing. So there's our mulberry, and I'm going to do a purple, I think, for the other colour. And I'll stay dark at the bottom and lighter towards the top, I think. Like that. It's an interesting pot, isn't it? Now the flowers, maybe a lavender, something like that might work. Let's have a look. What have we got here? What's this? Yeah, this is the Lavender Light. I like that. It's a bit blunt. Hang on. Right. Yeah, I'm trying to encourage them with their channel, because I think it just gives them a focus for their hobby, sort of thing. And you never know what might happen. There's someone on one of their followers, fans, subscribers, whatever they call them, chat my son calls them, who tells my son that he's going to be a really famous YouTuber one day. So I think, oh, I hope so. That's really nice, isn't it? It's lovely. But there we go. There is our finished picture for today. Not sure what I'm going to call it, but twine and pots maybe. You'll know already because I would have named the video, but there's that one. A lot of fun. Thank you for watching. I will get through this page. My goal is to get it done before Christmas, which means the videos will go into December, but I might start some winter videos early, and my Christmas winter videos will go on beyond December, I think. So we'll see. I'm just trying to plan it all out in my head, but I don't want to, I want to get these pages done for you because I know you've been waiting for ages, so it'll be nice to get it done, and nice for me to have a double page finished as well. And I've got one in Ivy. I think I've done half a page and the other page needs doing, so that might have to be next year. Next year? Gosh, that sounds funny, doesn't it? Next year? Wow. Anyway. Thank you for watching. Have a really lovely day. Please like and subscribe if you haven't done already. It's so appreciated. It makes a difference. Helps more people to see the channel, which is always lovely. So thank you all for your support. Thank you for watching and happy colouring.